The market cuts across 3 local government areas: the Aba North, Aba South, and Osisioma. Aria International Market, with an annual turnover of over $3 billion, as recorded in 2018, is a reseller's market where you can buy wholesale cheaply and even have your desired products designed and produced to your own exact specifications. There are a variety of businesses across the market, which includes sales of fabrics, shoemaking and sales, pharmaceutical supplies, hair salon materials, salons, general household goods, and so many others. The Aria market has a total of 37,000 shops. The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
Hello there, my name is Damilola Ogunsi, also known as the Goldfish.
Hi, my name is Chiki Bright Emmanuel. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello peeps, my name is Yomi E. Adejimo.
Hi everyone, I'm Paul Utomi.
Hi everyone, my name is Stacey Benjamin and this is Voice of the People TV.
I need you to keep it locked to VOP TV. See, are you looking for good entertainment? You want to get good movies, good music, politics, talk shows, sports and entertainment. You really want a channel that gives you everything you need without you having to run around. VOP is where you are. That's Voice of the People.
If you're not listening to this, you're not one of us. And you deserve to be killed. Scrap chat. Don't be killed, but watch it. Or I'll find you. And I want you.
And you are locked on VOP TV. Don't go nowhere. This is where the juice is. This is where all you need for entertainment, politics, movies, and whatnot.
And keep watching VOP TV.
So keep it locked because I'm locked already, man, and it's money back guarantee. So you're gonna have a good time because I do.
And please keep watching VOP TV.
I won't want to actually, I beg you, subscribe, watch it. If not, whatever you see.
You better not touch that die because VOP is the plot.
Empty hunger.
To the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lawn.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills 3 things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
Voice of the people. You can hear me now. My name is Patrick Doyle, and I wish that you continue to echo the voices of the people. Big up VOP TV.
A very good evening to you and welcome to another exciting episode of the Issues on Voice of the People television, where we bring you the most important and pressing issues shaping our nation today. I am your host, Nenna Ndomdioto. Today on the Issues, we're examining the complexities of Nigeria's politics and governance, from U.S. military forces on ground in Nigeria to tackle insecurity. The Senate proposed a new revenue formula to boost federal spending. Also, World Bank praises Nigeria's reform agenda. And finally, NAFDAC defends alcohol ban, cites underage consumption. Join us as we break down the fact and provide context to help you stay informed. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll dig deeper into these topics. Don't go away. Glad to have you back. Let's dive straight into what we have for you today. The United States military says it has dispatched some forces to Nigeria as part of ongoing security cooperation aimed at countering Boko Haram insurgency and rising banditry. According to U.S. officials, the deployment is designed to provide advisory, intelligence, and operational support to Nigerian forces battling terrorism and organized armed groups. Meanwhile, the Senate has urged citizens to resist internal collaborators, warning that individuals aiding or shielding criminals pose grave threats to peace, stability, and effective security operations across affected communities. The lawmakers stressed that community cooperation with security agencies is critical to dismantling terror networks. In a related move, the Senate has called on President Bola Tinubu to site a permanent military barracks in Katsina State, following fresh killings linked to bandit attacks. Senators say a sustained military presence is necessary to deter attacks and reassure residents in one of the country's worst hit states. Also, the Senate has called for an increase in troop strength and funding for the military to effectively tackle insecurity across the country. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by two distinguished guests. Here in the studio, we have Dr. Peter Anosike. Dr. Anosike is a philosopher, development economist, and best-selling author. He's also an erudite commentator in economy, finance, politics, and power. He's also the author of the most talked about book titled Abuse of Power, How Democracy Turned into Tyranny of the Few. Glad to have you join us, sir.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. And then also joining us virtually, we have Lekia Christian. He is a public affairs analyst, a social justice crusader, and president, Niger Delta Coalition Against Violence. Glad to have you join us, Lekia.
Good to be part of you after a very long time.
Did you have a very long time, just 2 weeks, 2 weeks away. But anyways, if you feel it's a long time, it's fine. Let me start.
I miss.
Okay, it's fine. Let me start with you. Let me start with you, sir.
I miss my brother Peter in the studio.
Okay.
I have come to develop this warmth.
Okay, Dr. Peter, you can hear him, right?
No.
He said he misses you in the studio.
Okay.
That it's been long. That's why I'm telling him. It's just 2 weeks. I don't know why he's saying it's been long. Okay, let's have you, sir. U.S. soldiers are in Nigeria, both on ground. Is this a development you've been waiting for? Is this a development you've been waiting for? Or then let me just hear from you. What do you make of this development? Okay, we seem to be having network connections.
No independent nation will want to rely
We didn't hear
on another
anything.
country to
Can you hear me,
we've
sir?
gotten.
Hold on, sir. Can you hear me? We didn't hear anything. So can you reiterate?
Can you
or
hear me
repeat?
now?
Yes, we can hear you now. So you could start all over again.
Loud and clear.
Yes, we can hear you.
I said, okay, all I'm trying to say is that it's an insult for any independent nation, any country who is truly independent, to depend on another country to tackle her security challenges. We have our military, we have other internal security agencies with the responsibility of ensuring that there is law and order, and as well as the protection of lives and property within the country. However, be that as it may, we shouldn't die in silence. America had come, and they are not coming to invade, they have come to collaborate. And to that of two countries, help is needed. We can depend on their support to tackle this. But I just hope that this effort will not be sabotaged, and that it will truly be driven by a sincere desire to tackle insecurity in the country. United States is not Nigeria, but then we welcome what they are doing, and we do pray that the collaboration should work for the greater good of Nigerians.
Okay, at the beginning of your response, you said that it is I can't remember the exact word you said, but you said it is an embarrassment for any country to come into another country. So are you saying that for you, do you think this is an infringement of our sovereignty as a country?
No, within the context of collaboration, it is not an infringement. If you look at the very beginning, the way the United States came in, they came in with the claim that the nation was incapable of protecting the Christian community citizens. And they came to intervene. President Trump was blunt about it. You know, I'm saying that it's an embarrassment for Nigeria as a country to wait until the president of another country or the military of another country will wake us up to our responsibility as a nation. That's what I meant. But however, within the context of this collaboration, accepting help where you are weak is not a crime.
Okay, I understand you now, sir. Okay, thank you. Let me get to hear Dr. Peter's, Dr. Anosike's view. Dr. Anosike, I don't know. Let me hear first what you make of this development. Yeah, let me hear from you first.
Human beings are by nature impatient, understand? They have been asking, when is America coming, when is America coming?
That was actually what I was going. Okay, when they are coming, okay, not what they are coming to do, okay.
Understand? No, they must first of all come
before they ask
before they would do.
Okay.
And I know that they would do, understand me? Just like people, that Iranians are already asking when is America coming? Because Donald Trump told them that help is on the way. And they have not seen that help in the last 1 month. So they're already losing patience. But I know that Donald Trump is somebody who walks his talks. When he says something, he makes sure that he does it. So there's no shame there saying somebody coming to help you if you are unable to help yourself. The current administration lacks the capacity to handle the insurgents. So America is now coming there to show them how to do it. Understand? So the collaboration is just what we call in journalism to make good, or to use our diplomatic words. Understand me? Because when the Sokoto bomb happened, there was no collaboration. There was no joint attack. It was just America that struck. Then I say if there was a joint attack, there would have been a joint statement. So because, and America has been watching since that 25th of December and see that these guys are not getting this right. Therefore, let us send people physically to Nigeria. Understand me? So that's why they are here, assuming that Nigerians have shown any kind of capacity. They will have been communicating from there because this is information age, and you can give direction from anywhere. But because they are not getting it right the way they want it, they have to now send people physically that's to Nigeria, which is not what America always do. Because they don't like losing their soldiers in wars that don't necessarily, that is not their own. So, and they have come, and these people are going to sit up now. At least begin that to pretend that they are fighting insurgents.
Okay, I mean, what does this deployment for you? What do you think it means? Is I know that you're not, of course, we don't have so much information. It looks like this whole thing is being shrouded in secrecy because not so much is being said. But
no,
what do you think?
I've told you, if they are getting it right, America would not have sent their soldiers physically. But there are things, but they are not getting it right. These people have to come here that to show them now physically how to fight insurgents.
So you're saying that is more about training support. Do you think that, because I was going to actually ask, do you think it's about training support, intelligence sharing, or active operations by these men or by these soldiers? We don't even know if they're men or women.
You can do all these things even in a video. Understand me? You can train people, understand me, all those things. But because of the compromise, because of the complicity, because of the sabotage, understand me, because of the sabotage, they now want to come here physically to say things for themselves.
You know, while you were speaking at first, you made mention of the fact that America doesn't like losing their soldiers, especially when it comes to wars that don't concern them, sort of.
It will be used against the president even during an election.
So, but why do you think this is happening? Why do you think, against all they stand for, that the president of America has decided to send some of his men down to Nigeria? Is there anything they stand to gain, or what do you think? What is the reason behind this action, aside from the fact that, okay, we know that according to them, Christian genocide and all of that, but what do you think is the reason why they would want to go against something he knows that could be used even against his next season re-election or whatever?
One, Nigeria has the biggest population in Africa, okay, and even in the world. Nigeria has, one of the 10th. Now, Nigeria is one of the 10th most populous countries in the world. If there's crisis in Nigeria, it is going to affect every continent. And you understand me? So, one, they need that to have a foothold in Nigeria. Understand? Because right now, Russia is in Niger. Russia is in Burkina Faso. Understand me? So this is power game that is going on. Understand me? So they are here that to make sure that the killings stop. Mind you, Donald Trump has also added that Muslims are also being killed. So to make sure that killings stop, and again, that the countries that they are not comfortable with does not overrun Africa. Understand me? Yeah. So this is a power game that is going on. Russia is already in a border country. So they also need that to have their own presence as a way of checkmating Russia. Understand me?
So are you saying that this is not just about Nigerians? It's not just about us as a country?
I say he wants to stop the killings in Nigeria. Understand me? And again, checkmate Russia. Just like what happened in Venezuela is to checkmate Russia and China from encroaching on their border.
Okay, let me come back to Lekia. Lekia, you know, with all of this that is happening and with what we're seeing now, do you think that foreign military assistance, do you think it strengthens our security capacity, or would it expose the gaps that we have in our domestic capability?
The world has become a global community with major stakeholders politically having their independent boundaries. But when it comes to world peace, global peace, public safety, every part of the world is concerned. Just like my brother in the studio said, Nigeria is a major economic powerhouse. We are a major consuming nation. And for anybody who wants to grow his or her economy, they want the kind of things, the kind of population we have to ensure that products are being sent here. Then beyond all of that, they are also interested in public order. Like he said, when they came before, it was purely on Christian killings. And they were absolutely correct. But Nigerians changed the narrative that, okay, there are Muslims who are equally victims of this banditry and all of that Boko Haram insurgency and attacks, which is also correct. So they are here to ensure that there is public safety. Remember, a lot of Christians, particularly from Benue, you know, sent lots and lots of information are calling for help from across the world. You see the mass burial, mass graves, and all of the humanity. If we are truly one humanity, we should be concerned. So what Americans did, their intervention, is to ensure that, well, that injustice, if it's about ethnic cleansing, that is being stopped. And they also respected the Nigerian position, because they didn't come to beg us. They said they were interested, but now there have been discussion. Remember, the National Security Advisor visited the United States with his team. There have been talks between then and now. And today we see a handful of American troops on ground. And so it's part of efforts to strengthen global peace. And they also ensuring that those who are behind the killings discontinue, that there is freedom and that the right to life should be respected, irrespective of whatever agenda anybody is pursuing. So it's important that this is happening, and that their own military. You know, one of the greatest problems we had that the Nigerian armed forces had and other security agencies was internal sabotage. If you listen to retired soldiers or those who have been involved, the military personnel who are involved in this fight against insurgency, you hear different things that does not show that the government was fair even to the soldiers who were on ground fighting. You know, so it's important to know that there is no information that comes out that are not being sieved by interested parties and major stakeholders globally. And for me, I see this intervention as an attempt to ensure that there are no leakages in between the lines, that no matter the level of collaboration, informations are within the reach of the American troops who are here to ensure that.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Manosike, let me come to you.
The mandate they are being given is achieved to ensure that the peace.
Okay, I didn't actually make out the last statement you made. I guess network interrupted it a little bit. I don't know if you can repeat your statement. Oh, okay, let me come to Dr. Anosike. Dr. Anosike, you know, one of the things they said, he talked about internal saboteurs, but I want to ask, the fact that these people, these army officials are on ground now, does it in any way, would it in any way would it in any way curtail these internal saboteurs? How would they be able to work without getting, getting all of these things out and ensuring that it just stays within the right set of persons? Is there something that can be done about that? Or
well, these are well-trained soldiers, and they are coming with their intelligence, which is different from what we have here. Understand me? I know that in England in the 90s, I don't know if it's still there now. There's always what they call bank. Understand me? There's always what they call bank, and this bank is not where you keep money. You can go there to make call. So when you enter there and you speak, understand, immediately that you leave there, one of their security agents will come and pick it, understand, and get the information that you passed. So there's always something there that transmits what you say to them. So with that, they are monitoring the kind of information that people, the kind of a discussion as a way of. Then that was when hijacking is on, but now they don't do it that anymore. So these people will have their own way of getting information, because what the language that Nigerian soldiers speak is Hausa. Go to the barracks. The major language there is Hausa, and these guys doesn't understand Hausa, but they will have a way of getting the information that are being transmitted. And again, their president will also put fear on those who are doing this sabotage and so on and so forth, for whatever reasons, either to protect their own people or for monetary gains and so on and so forth. So the picture has changed. Before, America was in America. Right now, America is in Nigeria. So it's a wake-up call for everybody to be upright.
Okay, well, okay. Let me come back to Lekia. Lekia, I found that I heard that you're back. So let me ask you this. One of the things that came up on the floor of the Senate today is that one of the senators actually talked about citizens resisting collaborators, internal collaborators. And, he talked about the fact that shielding criminals, like we all know, poses grave threats to peace and, of course, stability of the community and, of course, the country in general. But, asking citizens to resist collaborators, is it actually realistic when you don't even have the right protection for them and intelligence frameworks? What do you think?
Understand what they mean by collaboration. Just after the Sokoto strike, we saw situations where some governors in the north were asking their communities to make peace, encouraging peace and mediation between the bandits and themselves. They were trying to strike a balance. Whilst with merchants of death, why will you encourage that kind of thing? And we've also seen how the Nigerian army had lost a whole lot of their officers to this fight. And communities, when it comes to that, this war is not a direct war. You don't know the enemies. You don't know, because you have these bandits living among the people. It is the people who know them. So when they shield them, even in communities where they are known, and they want to take human shield sometimes, and that will frustrate the efforts of the Nigerian armed forces before now. And most of the people they even interface, we don't know where their loyalty lies. So for me, discouraging that collaboration is to strengthen whatever intelligence that is being deployed to ensure that this menace is being caught, is being brought to a halt and a stop. It is not healthy. It is a threat to our own national security, is a threat to the way we run things, our expectations. All of this will turn to nothing if that is being encouraged. So for me, there shouldn't be that level of collaboration, but with the bandits. But of course, America is here with their own technology. Security today is intelligence driven, and they know what they are coming for. They have their targets. They work with precision. They have watched a whole lot, and they are also working in collaboration with the Nigerian state. You know, the non-state actors don't have access, and they may not be foolish enough to deploy all their strategy to the Nigerian military, because you don't know which of them that is linked with the bandits themselves. We've seen situations where some bandits will claim to have repented, and the next time they have been absorbed into the military. How they have been posted and whose interest they pursue, even within the armed forces as personnel, working for the Nigerian state now as state actors, you don't know, you can't predict. So it's something that requires a whole lot of commitment, and we pray that Nigerians will be patriotic enough to understand and appreciate why they must not provide shit for criminals, and ensure that whatever effort that has been deployed today to pursue public safety is being encouraged in the best interest of the nation, and ensure that we are out of the dark woods where this whole thing has thrown us as a people.
Okay, thank you. Let me come back to Dr. Nosike. Dr. Nosike, one of the things that came up on the floor, aside from this caution against internal collaborations, is also the fact that they reiterated that the president had one time promised to build build military barracks in hotspots, in zones like Katsina and all of that. But do you think that siting military barracks in places like that, would it help? Is that something that would help change the insecurity or the security equation that we have at the moment?
For me, that is two ways that the way I'm saying, because the military barracks in Borno State has not stopped or the attack in the state. They are even attacking military formations. So what I feel should be done is those their hideouts, understand? Make sure they are assuming that that they are taking people to the forest. Make sure that those forests don't exist anymore. An instance, Sambisa, if they have built a military barracks, Air Force base in Sambisa, they will not have where to be hiding or where to be taking people to. Understand? So when you are chasing somebody and you see where he or she hides, you don't take care of them, because when the former state minister of defense state was the minister of defense, or the one that Musa took over from, he said that where they hide, that their rocket cannot penetrate the forest. Then why should you allow those forests to exist? If you clear those forests, build a military formation there, they will not have anywhere to this thing hide. So for me, this is that's a compromise of a lot of people. It is a compromise that's of a lot of people. Some people have sympathy for them. Understand? Some people have a sympathy for them. Like Buhari said, that Jonathan is using the effort against Boko Haram to reduce the northern votes. Understand me? And Sheikh Gumi said that Boko Haram and Boko Haram members are their brothers and sisters. So you can see. But America is coming with emotional intelligence. Understand me? So the right thing should be done. Evil shouldn't be condoned. There should be no excuse for evil. You don't condone evil, you eliminate evil.
You don't condone evil, you say you eliminate evil. But you know, with what has been happening, and then using your last statement as a background, what would you say has actually failed more in our security strategy? Would you say it's intelligence coordination, or would you say it's a political will to actually, or would you even say, like you mentioned earlier, that is the compromise that we have amongst our top officials and all?
We cannot say we cannot mention one particular factor, but one of them is that people are becoming billionaires from this fight. People are becoming billionaires from this fight. And that's one of the reasons why it has not ended. From 2009 up to 2026, some people are making billions from this. Because every year, budgets are being made, understand, and people are benefiting. So for me, that could be one of the reasons. Because if the fight against the insurgents ends, their money would dry up. Understand me? So for me, corruption is one of the main reasons why Nigeria has not won this war.
Okay, let me allow Lekia to give his opinion about this particular question before we move on to the next conversation. Lekia, what has failed more in this our fight against insecurity? Would you say it's our strategy? Would you say it's our intelligence coordination, or would you say it's the political will that we have or we do not have?
A combination of factors that is corruption-centered. If you look at what preempted that war, maybe you never listened to Al-Mustafa. There's a whole lot of mineral exploration going on there. And who are those involved? And what are the value of those minerals? Is the Nigerian state totally in charge of that? So whose interest is being protected? Why is Boko Haram is existing? Why are they dividing into cells? Why are they changing groups and names, identity? They are pursuing a common mind. They want to draw as much as they could to ensure that the federal government does not exercise this kind of control they exercise over resources found here in the Niger Delta. And you can see that while we talk about bunkering, why some people are involved in bunkering here, the military came heavily on them. But the kind of conspiracy that have allowed Boko Haram and insecurity to thrive in the north will not allow the military to strike them the same way they strike oil bunkers and attack criminals here. And you see, these are part of the problem. It's complex. So all the resources that and the revenue generated from those resources, sometimes we heard of foreign nations coming directly without showing any respect for aviation authority. They come direct and pick most of those things out. We've been too loose. So a combination of factors that is corruption-centered and conspiracy founded is responsible for why we are where we are as a nation.
Okay, thank you. Let's move on to our next conversation. And of course, it's based on what the Senate has proposed. The Senate has proposed a new revenue sharing formula aimed at boosting the federal government's spending capacity. The Senate says the proposed revenue formula seeks to adjust how national income is shared among the federal, state, and local governments. Lawmakers argue that the current structure limits the federal government's ability to fund key responsibilities such as defense, infrastructure, and social services. The federal government currently receives 52.68%, the state 26.72%, while local governments get 20.60%. But let me come to you first. You know, with this, we can see that, of course, we know, even without these numbers, we already know that the federal government gets a higher percentage. And now the Senate is fighting for more for the federal government. Do you think, do you align with them? Do you think that the federal government should get more?
That reversal should be on the case if we want to run a successful country. Understand? Reversal should be on the case. Go and check the budget of America. The federal government is receiving this thing. Understand? So we should be talking about the evolution of power, resource control, power going back to the states. Understand me? It is the federal government is very far away from the people. Though Nigeria made progress more between 1960 to 1966 than from 1966 to 2026, because then there was resource control, there was power and devolution. The regions, understand, we are having the bulk of the money, and then we are developing their areas. What Michael Okpara did between 1960 and 1966, the whole governors in the eastern region have not done that from then up to today. He was citing industries in everywhere. There's a product that has commercial value. So for me, we should be talking about power going back to the state, to the region. These are the people that are nearer to the people. Understand me? Not a government that is far off. Check, there's no way. Federal government should be receiving 20%. What local government is receiving should be what federal government should be receiving. Then this 52% should be for the states, because they are nearer to the people. Understand? So this happens when the government has no brain to develop its own economy. Now everything is now tax, because you cannot generate money of your own. And where would this money come? From the states. You take the bulk of the money and you starve them. Why they are directly responsible to the people? So it's wrong.
Okay, let me come to you, Lekia. We know that the states, many of the states are actually struggling with giving the necessary infrastructural development that their states need. And now we're seeing the Senate call for more money for the federal government. Do you think that boosting the federal government spending risk, do you think it will weaken the states that are already struggling, weaken them the more, and make the states poorer?
When the federal government, instead of creating states on the basis of their viability, they create it as a compensation. And that was because there was resources coming from the oil-rich Niger Delta region to be shared. So they didn't give attention to how these states will survive economically speaking. So that had made the states lazy. Governors sit and wait on allocation. Well, what has happened to the granite pyramids that was there in the north? What has happened to the cocoa that was in the west? All of those things are done. Agriculture was the mainstay of the Nigerian economy at some time when we came up from independence. But today, since oil was found, the entire thing had made the states not to be productive. They are not thinking of anything. And like my brother said, the burden had been on the people. And more of these people are low income, because in Nigeria now there are just two classes. Those who are, there's no middle class anymore. Those who are high up there and those who are at the bottom. So when you continue to tax people heavily in order to sustain our nation, we are suffocating the entire system. And so I don't really believe that the federal government needs more money. They need more economic ideas that will take us out of the dead woods that we have found, from where we found ourselves, and think of how to reposition the country in a manner that more power to be given to the states, and more resources states should be allowed to develop resources, manage them, and pay taxes to the federal government. The state needs more. There is no business beyond defense that the federal government should be doing. Defense, infrastructure, and the states should be concerned with the infrastructure development within their states, as well as the education of their people. What the federal government should be doing is streamlining policies and ensuring that our territories are being protected, controlling the army. In fact, there should be the creation of state police to ensure that there are internal security and maintenance of law and order within our society. While the major business of protecting our territorial boundaries should be vested within the Nigerian military under the direct control of the federal government.
Okay, one of the things that I heard you say while you were speaking is the fact that there's a need for revenue generation by many of these states. That's one of the things I heard you say, right?
Yes, the states should be able to generate their revenue, manage their resources, and pay a certain percentage to the center. Not for the center to draw from a certain bracket of people like the Niger Delta, and nothing is happening to the rich mineral deposits that are there. And all of that is responsible for the level of insecurity that have grown there, just to stay the eyes and attention of the federal government away from what is beneath the ground there.
Okay, let me have Dr. Anosike say what he has to say before we move on to the last
issues
conversation.
In the area like Niger and Delta, assuming we are running a proper federal government, the people of Niger Delta should have an equity with the federal government. Understand me? Niger Delta people owns that resources. So there should be an equity with the federal government. This is how much we'll be paying to you. Understand? And not federal government giving to the owners. It doesn't happen. It is wrong. Understand me? Now you are taking my thing and now dashing me. Dashing me what belongs to me. It doesn't happen in a sane country, in a sane economy. That's why we are not moving forward.
Okay, let's quickly move to our last conversation for tonight. The managing director of the World Bank says Nigeria has become a global reference point for steady and credible economic reforms. She said she disclosed this when she led the World Bank delegation to the villa. She commended Nigeria's reform progress over the past 2 years, particularly the government's consistent resolve to stay the course despite challenges. She noted that while challenges remain, Nigeria's reform trajectory is attracting renewed interest from investors and development partners. Let me come to you first. Dr. Anosike, what do you make of this?
The woman should be investigated how much was given to her. She should be investigated. She has been bought over. Understand me? She's a coward. For a country that World Bank has projected will be worse off in 2027. Understand me? So this is the confusion that they create everywhere. Because I keep on saying the bubble in the presidency is different from the bubble of the people. So we live in a different world. Understand? Government is about other people. What is the quality of life of Nigerians? Before, we have 131 million people in multi-dimensional poverty, but today we have more than 141 million, according to same World Bank. So within 2 years, 10 million people were forced into the multi-dimensional poverty. And the World Bank said by 2027, hunger and suffering will increase in Nigeria. And the same woman is now coming that because he had gone to the presidency, understand, and is not able that to speak truth to power.
Okay, let's hear from Lekia. Lekia, what do you make of this? You know, it's internet something like this, and a rating from an international, from a director. You know, how does it compare with citizens? Citizens would actually say that no, that this is actually it's not working, and then someone here is telling us it's working. Nigerians are still buying things very expensive, and then someone is saying that the reforms are working. What do you make of this, please, in one sentence or in 1 minute, please, before we go?
By very important persons, should not be taken seriously. What are the indicators? I'm happy that nobody is a monopoly of knowledge. If she's making a statement, the diagnosis of that statement and the indicators that suggested the position she has taken on the Nigerian situation should be made open. There are other stakeholders who know what she knows, but I don't believe that that is completely true. I also would not want to condemn her completely, but I don't believe as a Nigerian that she's been honest to herself.
Okay, thank you very much. This is where we would actually draw the curtains for today's program, or on today's program. Thank you, Dr. Anosike, for being a part of it. And thank you very much, Lekia Christian, for joining us all the way from Port Harcourt.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to be with you.
You're welcome. And that's all we have for today's episode of The Issues. We explore the challenges facing Nigeria and, of course, its governance. Thank you for being a part of it. Don't forget to tune in next time for more in-depth analysis and discussion. Follow us up on social media to stay up to date on the latest news and insight. Until next time, stay informed. I am Nnenna Ndomdioto. This has been The Issues on Voice of the People Television, where the future faces forward. Please don't forget to stay tuned for Hashtag with Vivian by 8 p.m. Don't go away.
For the extraordinary. Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
We encourage you to click on the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are Voice of the People TV. Also follow us on all our social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Visit our...
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Arpeon. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People Television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 2012, with the sport.
I'm Sarah Nystrom from Sweden, aka Chief Omobowale Communication Queen. Keep watching VOP TV.
Hi, I'm Samantha Jacobs representing the States. Miami's in the house, and I want to make a shout out to VOP TV. I'm a humanitarian, and I'm also a rep in the film industry and the art industry. I help dreams come true, and I help you keep on that path. Shout out to VOP TV because